to the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin and the odds seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of pure cloud. So tell me this time is coming, I'm sick of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you, why?
Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday to you. It is your favorite Sunday Sports Dream Point of View. I'm Bobby Munson, and joined by a couple of my wonderful friends right beside me there is old Ed. Ed, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. It's been a long weekend, but I'm doing all right.
It definitely has been a long weekend, and I'll elaborate on that in just a few moments here. But right below him, the man from the Japanese Wrestling Update and from many other shows across the board. It's Andre C. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm back. I'm alive. I don't feel like death this week, so it's good.
Well, that's a positive for sure. And we got STG up in the house. Wait, we got Andre and no Mark. No, Mark's taking the day off, getting some much needed rest and everything like that. We hope that he gets the rest he needs, feels great and chipper, and he's back here to heal it up for you guys next week with us. So yes, and Andre, I'm hungry. See is what SDG's calling you.
I literally just woke up.
Yeah, and it's Astrid up in the house. Astrid, how are you doing here this morning? Oh, see, there we go with the food in the mouth. There we go, perfect. That's a shot and a half. And Andre 2/3 to be exact. There we go, gentlemen. It has been a long week, a long weekend, but I got through Prairie Pro Wrestling unscathed again last night, despite El Assassino telling me that he was going to see me yesterday. He was so caught up in other business that he didn't even take note. So once again, I slinked by, able to talk shit, and even look at this. Check this out. Just so you know, hey, El Assassino, you stupid SOB, when your back was turned, I snatched one of these things, put it in my bag, and now I'm wearing it, ironically, right at you. Hashtag GFY, El Assassino. Hashtag GFY. Come get some.
One day, all this is going to come back and bite you in the ass, my friend, and I can't wait.
One day, I'm going to tell him, we're going to figure out what your address is, and he's going to show up during Point of View and just punch you in the face during the show.
I might just send
every
him
6
an
weeks
invite.
anyway.
I may work with Papa Smoke and just send him an invite to this room one day.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. And there we go. Hello, Bobby Stats. And there we go. The vomit symbol for El Assassino. Perfect.
No.
There we go.
I agree with that.
You see, Bobbies around the world agree right there, El Assassino. Hashtag GFY. I don't even care.
As I called him all through his LPW run, El Asshat.
Yeah. Trash Asino is another good one. That's a classic here locally.
He is a wonderful, genuine human being who I dearly love, and I'm very glad that he's going to get his hands on Bobby someday soon.
Yeah, he thinks, but he keeps painting a target on his back so incredibly large that he doesn't even have to pay attention to me, which is great because I can keep talking my shit, and that guy's got so much stuff going on that he forgets that I'm even there, and it's wonderful. So I will officially go on forever being the one person that escaped the grasp of the Mexican devil.
FAFO, baby. FAFO.
I have no idea what that means.
Fuck around, find out.
Bobby
Oh,
doesn't want to see him on his TV.
Mm.
Oh, Bobby in the ring upcoming. No.
I don't think
Just
Bobby
because
could wrestle a
my,
match.
my position changed as of last night. I am no longer, well, I mean, I'm still a video bro. I mean, video bro is like a per life sort of thing, but I stepped away from the camera last night and became the video boss of PPW. So I am now directing from down at ringside. I've got essentially a crew that we're building up, where the next mission is to get someone else trained up to take over for Papa Smokes so that I will officially have my own crew. We did a multi-camera shot last night, so there was multiple angles done and everything like that. So we are trying to step up the game. We're talking about advancing the cameras down the road here as well too, and a few other things that we're going to do to try to really take the PPW videos to another level here in 2025 and beyond. So we are really pushing for much better. And it was a cool experience going in and being told there, not only that was kind of my new role, but essentially that everybody was being told that I was part of the management team and everything. So yeah, it was a cool thing. And then last night too, a lot of people coming in, and there was a few people that came in for the first time to a show. They're like, "Hey, you're that dude that was all over Facebook with the videos and stuff like that." They're like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And a bunch of other people they're talking about, they check out Ring Respect Radio and all these things too. It was cool. Bass was there. He's joining us here this morning. Him and Bass
agrees
Jr.
with me about how Assassino was a wonderful human being who's going to get his hands on Bobby someday. I know that.
Bass doesn't want that. Bass doesn't want to see me get beat up by
Bass wants
Assassino.
to watch you get your ass kicked desperately. I'm sure of it.
No,
He's been
no,
your
he
friend
doesn't.
for
No.
this long. I'm pretty sure he wants to see you. I know Papa Smokes wants to see it.
Papa Smokes is a cynical SOB when he wants to be, though. I mean, he might be my brother for life, but there's a reason we call him Heel Smokes lately. I mean, there's that cynical part of him that would enjoy something of that nature there. Ed, but see,
I'm going to enjoy it. What do you know?
Babyface Bass over here.
I'm going to enjoy it.
I get that, but Babyface Bass over here, he doesn't want that kind of stuff. He doesn't want to see me get hurt by El Assassino, and he knows damn well that if El Assassino tries to ever put his greasy paws on me, that not only is there a locker room full of people that would have my back, there's also 280 PPW fans live in that arena that are ready to trash that masked asshole. Papa Smokes instantly a heel. I know he is, because he's friends with El Assassino. That's the problem. He's friends with El Assassino. And as I say, when it comes to El Assassino, if you aren't saying hashtag GFY, you're getting it wrong. Did Zoe Sager wrestle at your guys' show last night? Yes, Bobby. Actually, Zoe was in the main event last night, which is, again, we're talking about the connection between her and El Assassino. She got the title shot against Michael Allen Richard Clark last night, and El Assassino tried to interfere again. He tried to get involved, trying to take out Michael Allen Richard Clark, and claiming that he is going to continue to rain down this path of destruction across PPW until he receives his title shot. And yet, at the same time, it almost seemed like he was trying to give a hand to his little buddy there, Zoe Sager, to try to make her the new champion. She was damn close too. I'm telling you, Zoe was very, very close to becoming the new champion last night. Michael Allen Richard Clark winning at the end of it all, but man, it was one hell. This is a third match we've had between these two, and every single one of them has been absolutely fantastic. And if you want to check out both Zoe and Michael Allen Richard Clark coming up, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling coming up here in March has a 2-date show. Both of them booked for that show, and I encourage everybody to go and get that pay-per-view rented and check it out, because there's a lot of amazing talent that's going to be featured there that day.
Don't forget, it's not the only place we're going to be able to see Zoe Sager coming up soon. We theoretically should be seeing Zoe Sager on Tubi and YouTube around the world coming up in March.
That's true, yes.
From what I understand, all of the ID talent are theoretically eligible to be on Evolve.
And now, I want to ask you this, Ed and Andre, because you guys might know better, but the announcement of the titles, the WWE ID championships, are these essentially going to be able to be traveled and defended I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I heard the buzz around last night too, because there was talks about what if. I'm not saying that Zoe's going to go in and immediately become the first WWE ID Women's Champion. Not saying it's impossible either, right? We don't know the direction they're going to choose to go or how much Zoe's going to stack up against the competition there. But they were talking about the what if. How would it look if she was the champion and they had her come to PPW? Like, at what point do we need to communicate with the WWE over who she's booked against to defend the title against, how it has to go? Like, what importance is there on our part to communicate back and forth with the WWE and share footage and all this kind of stuff as well too? Would they send people? Like, there's a lot of what ifs still that we don't know. And again, we also don't know if it would ever be PPW. It could be LPW. It could be one of the other many companies across Canada that Zoe works for quite a bit too. So it's all in theory right now, really.
I know and this is from listening to podcasts, because I listened to Poison Rana, and they had on the guy who runs Northern Crown in Ontario, where Zoe did get her contract, where she was announced as the next WWE ID prospect there a few months ago.
Yeah.
There was some people from WWE, like not a giant crew, but a couple people there with cameras recording the reveal for her. So I don't know if they're going to be hiring crews to show up places for certain things. I don't know, because that would get very costly. So yeah,
local crews, local talent.
What we're going to see is these will typically be matches that. So if you've watched the WWE ID social media, they promote these ID showcase matches. I think those are going to be the ones that WWE is kind of using the promotions to book these particular ID matchups. Because right now, and like using Chaotic as an example, we have two regular contributors on our program who are both WWE ID'd, between our champion Ricky Smokes and Aaron Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them are WWE ID'd. So theoretically, if they were to ever have a match in Chaotic, if one of them were the champion, that could theoretically be a WWE ID match. But I think it's more likely that these matches that they have on their Twitter, that they promote as WWE ID matches. And I'm pulling it up right now just to see what the last few.
Because if, like, say Zoe gets the women's title, if for some reason she was to defend it at a PPW show, let's just say, she would actually be defending it against another WWE ID person. So you would have to have two of them.
We do have some stuff that WWE ID has actually put out on the 4th to give us a little bit more information about this.
Okay.
So WWE ID says what is it? A WWE ID official match. It is a match between WWE ID prospects that is promoted on this account. The matches will occur on various independent wrestling promotions. Results of these matches will be live in the WWE ID universe. Wins can advance your career. Wins can lead to opportunities on WWE Evolve. Anything that happens around WWE ID matches will also live in the WWE ID universe. For instance, you can follow the story of Mathers versus Holloway as their feud builds. Stay tuned. The stakes of these ID matches will escalate, which is what we now know is the WWE ID Championships. If you have a question on these matches, please post it as a reply. And, there's a bunch of people asking, questions like, somebody asked, we want Kylie Ray versus Zeta Steel. And they're like, yes, if an indie books it, we'll let you know. So it's definitely a thing where
I look at this,
have a bit of involvement, but
we may have a WWE ID match. We could possibly have one at the Maple Leaf Pro, because you have both Kylie Ray and Zoe Sager going to that show. So we could end up with a WWE ID match on the Maple Leaf Pro pay-per-view.
That's pretty wild, actually. I didn't even think about that, but it's good to know too. And I mean, essentially, so that means, like, again, if there was any involvement on our side of the fence, then they would have to essentially send another WWE ID prospect in order to have a match that is WWE ID based. But it doesn't mean that you completely lose these people for independent bookings either. So if it, even though they might not be doing a WWE ID matchup per se, you can still book them for the regular matchups that you do within your own company. So, okay, this really works. I like it. I like the sounds of it. I think this is a cool program, and I really am looking forward to checking out Evolve over on Tubi. I think it's interesting that they're going that route. They're doing it with a free streaming service such as that. I hope that applies. Is that USA only, Ed?
US only on Tubi, and it'll be on YouTube internationally.
Okay, fair enough. No, that's good.
As long as we have a way to watch it.
Yeah.
As long as we can watch it, right? Like, I want to be able to see it.
And like I said, I think having, because people are like, oh, there's too many titles in WWE. I'm like, these are non-WWE titles. Like, I don't think we're ever going to see these defended, with the exception of maybe on Evolve. I don't think we ever see these titles defended on WWE programming, period. I think these are things from the press release that I saw, that I can remember correctly, these are specifically to help the talents on the indies, to again promote the ID program on the independent circuit. Now, granted,
so it's going to be the reality of the extra reality of wrestling titles. Okay,
it could be something like that. I mean, all of the partner promotions, like, it's not just reality of wrestling. I mean, it's probably a large part of reality.
It's going to be the most prominent one to feature those title matches. I guarantee it. Reality of wrestling you'll see the most come out of them.
I mean, they can the partner promotions. I mean, I assume it'll be all of the partner promotions that are going to be doing. But remember, ID talent hasn't always happened, like you said. North Crown, was it Crown North or North Crown Wrestling? That
Northern Crown, yeah.
Northern Crown. They ID'd Zoe Stark, but they're not a partner promotion. I know here, both Chaotic and
Zoe Sager.
Oh, who did I say?
Stark is already doing okay for herself.
She's doing fantastic now that she's not doing promos in a Japanese restaurant with Io Sky. But but like both Chaotic and Beyond, neither one of them are the New England, brand of choice for the WWE ID. But both of them were the ones where people got ID'd. So it's, like I said, I think it's going to be anywhere and everywhere that WWE wants to do these matches where they announce that there's going to be a showcase match, now has a potential to be a championship match.
I also think that it's, what I do like about the program is that there's an opportunity for WWE to inevitably want said footage from these independent workers. Like if they do move up and everything to an NXT and everything, you've seen the packages before of like highlights from their independent bookings and everything like that. So there's that potential for those of us that have been putting in the work to develop these videos and stuff like that, to then have our work displayed in some way, shape, or form within WWE television, which as a fan, I find quite cool. Like if there was ever an opportunity that anything I've filmed over the years could ever be put on WWE TV, even if just for a second, that's a cool feeling for me. Really cool feeling.
I mean, I'll talk about anything as long as we don't have to talk about what's in the fucking title of this show.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the hockey game?
Canada.
Oh,
that was a great overtime.
That's such a shame.
We are Canada.
That's such a shame. No, let's get this crap. Like, not only was it bad enough that we lost in my city.
Oh,
like this final happened in Boston, down the road. Do you know how hard that hurt me to watch all of these awful Canadians celebrating? I even had to root against Boston Bruins in this. I had to root against my captain.
There we go, STG. My heart is not breaking for you. Isn't Connor McDavid just a glorious, glorious man? Just a great human being.
No.
What a great Canadian.
No.
You're only saying that, Andre, because he plays for an opposing team, even though you live in the city that he plays for.
I don't live in that city.
You're close enough.
I don't live in that city.
You're close enough. You spend most of your time there. You know it.
I got
More time than you do it. No
I
more
only
time than
spend
you
about
do
a
in
day-
Montreal.
I only spend about a day or two a week in Edmonton, so at most.
Okay. Edmonton's kind of like one of these, like, all the surrounding areas might as well just be Edmonton as well, too, you know. You
No,
realize
no.
that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Just because they
no,
managed to keep separate doesn't mean that they're not just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
no, I'm in a different place. I'm not in Lethbridge. That is for goddamn sure. I would never live in Lethbridge. God no.
Oh, and by the way, that match that person was asking about that an indie needed to book, it did get booked.
Oh, did it?
Yep. Zeta Steel versus Kylie Ray will be happening at Wrestling Open on the 27th, and it's an official WWE ID match.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. That is really cool. That'll be a good match. I'm looking.
that
forward
means
to
we
it.
just need to get Zoe Sager in the States where we can actually promote her, because only other female talent for this program are in the States.
STG has a question for me and wants to know, how many hours of footage do you think you have recorded? Do you mean how many hours I have once it's all been edited and I chop the rest of the crap out, or how many hours total that I've got over the last 8-ish years of doing this?
Don't forget your lucrative porn career too. That's a lot.
Oh,
of
wow.
footage there,
Yeah,
too.
of course that. At PPW. Okay, so just PPW, if we're not counting HIW. Damn, man, that's a fair.
Well, that should count too, because it's
question.
essentially PPW.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, don't say that.
I'm saying approximately every show I get a total of 3.5 hours footage before I chop it down into what the matches are and stuff like that, break it all out. How many shows have we done in PPW? That's the next best question. We started in 2019 and we had 5 shows in 2019. 2020, I mean, obviously not so many. We had like 1 show in 2020, and 2021, I think it was October before we were allowed to come back. So
Oh shit, we were already back in the fall of 2020 here in Edmonton.
Yeah, I know you guys were. You guys are nuts, but we weren't. We didn't have those rules here. No, so it was October 2021 that we made that comeback. So there's at least a year stretch that we didn't do our regular 6 shows. I would say approximately we do about 6 shows a year. That's about 1,800 hours per year, and that's about
18 hours per year.
18 hours per year. Sorry,
Not 1,800.
I'm just throwing stuff. Fine. I don't know. I'm tired. Come on, guys. Yeah, whatever that equals out to times however many years I've been doing this. So 18 times 8. There you go. That's how much footage I've got. 18 times 8. When Ed's mad. No, Ed's sharp today. Ed's probably had a good night's sleep. He's probably had, a good breakfast that didn't consist of just black coffee. So,
144 hours.
144. There we go. 144 hours. That's what I've got from the
I did backwards math.
Perfect. All right, there we go. We have confirmation. About 144 hours. Yeah. But I mean, on average, some shows go a little bit longer, some are a little bit shorter. Yesterday we had 6 matches and we kept them tight. Like, the schedule remained pretty good. We were done by 10 o'clock last night, which was a nice change. I'm sure for everybody, especially the wrestlers, especially the ones who have to travel back to Alberta on said same night. So they get done, everything gets teared down. They got to hop in the vehicles. By that time, it's 11, midnight, 1 in the morning sometimes. And then they got to drive all the way back to Edmonton and stuff. That's a good 5.5 hours of driving that they got to go back there. I mean, that's a rough life at times. Dang right before Andre's bedtime. You went early sleeper, Andre?
No, I'm not. I'm not really. I don't go to bed before like 10:30, 11 at night. So
That's that seems about right. That's a fair time. I sometimes push it a little bit further, and shouldn't. But
Yeah.
Sometimes it's midnight, sometimes it's 12:30. But I'm always up early every single morning. I'm usually I feel like I'm sleeping in if it's 7:00 in the morning. That's
True.
to me oversleeping.
That's early. That's waking up early, and I don't like it.
See, I'm especially in the summertime when that sun starts to rise, like 5:30, 6 in the morning. I'm up, ready to have a coffee. I'm ready to get outside already, kind of thing. Like, I love summer. I can't wait for it to start getting better. It's finally warming up here a little bit. Like today is supposed to be like +3 or something here in Canada, or in Saskatchewan at least. Oh, snap, 6 for you guys. Awesome. Yeah, it's been way too long. I've been sleeping late because of being struck by the plague. Normally up at 4 a.m. Well, sorry to hear you've been struck with the plague, but yeah, 4 a.m. That's definitely a little bit earlier than I do by a fair bit. But
I breathed into the air. I breathed into the air and sent it on the wind to SGG in BC, so he would get my plague.
Well, and someone sent it to Papa Smokes too, because he's been rough. That was
probably Mailball. That was probably Mailball.
That was Papa Smokes part of the horde.
Yeah.
Mailball gave me the plague. So,
Papa Smokes, like, it was actually the week before when we were originally supposed to do a trip through the territories. He was telling me that he was starting to feel like he was getting the flu, or he had the flu, and he was starting to lose his voice a little bit. So we didn't call any PPW matches that day in post, and tried to make sure that his voice got, a little bit better. So then flash forward to just this past Thursday, and I message him, and he goes, my voice is almost completely gone at this point. He goes, I still can't shake this illness. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, but we kind of needed to get a PPW match done because we're kind of towing the line right now of like being caught up to where we're at. So he was like, yeah, I'll push through one. And so you'll find out like this coming Saturday at the match release, like 90% of the entire time I'm doing the calling of the matchup and everything because of his voice being in the condition it was in, because we also wanted him to be able to come on and do a trip through the territories. And so he really pushed through that night. But man, last night, the guy could barely talk. Like, that angelic voice was shot completely. Like, he was struggling to even get a few words out at a time. It was so bad.
So we gotta like find like me or Ed, and we'll just pretend to sound like Papa Smokes.
You can't pretend to be the angelic voice of Papa Smokes.
No, yeah. that's a task that's too difficult. It's
we got to get Ricky Smokes to fill in for his uncle Papa Smokes.
There we go. That see, we could make that happen. That would be fun. Yeah. It's part of the whole.
You can become plan. Eddie Smokes. You can become Eddie Smokes, bud.
No, Eddie Smokes.
But no, Bobby, people have heard my thoughts. People have heard Andre's thoughts. They kind of got some vague thoughts from you. Your thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World?
It's so in my opinion. I think it's just the movie ended up being plagued by just too much of the reshoots and stuff like that I think it got a little bit disjointed at times. I really liked everybody involved. I think that's the saving grace, is that the people involved with the project are really good. And I think that more attention should be given to Anthony Mackie for being able to carry a movie like that, in my opinion. I heard so much about Harrison Ford's performance, and don't get me wrong, 82-year-old, get off my plane, did a good job at being a presidential character. But I really think that Anthony Mackie is a show stealer and carried the whole thing on his back. My other real beef with it is that, it feels like Captain America has become a dumping ground for the Avengers setups every single time, and it doesn't have its own voice. Like, you can pinpoint, other than The Winter Soldier, which is one of the best MCU films, if not the best MCU film that there is, that is the only one that really has its own like voice, in my opinion. It's its own movie, where all the other ones, in some way, shape, or form, even though I do like the first one to a degree, and I do like the Avengers 2.5 as well too. They are dumping grounds for the Avengers setup, and it felt that way again right away. It's like, oh, we want to get the Avengers assembled again. We want to do an Avengers thing, and it's Avengers chatter through the whole thing. And I know they need to do something to get us to the Avengers, but unfortunately, I feel like every single time Captain America takes that on the shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, that's not entirely. But here's the thing: Captain America doesn't have the greatest villain set outside of Red Skull. Like, I tie Captain America so tightly with the
Baron
Avengers.
Zemo is technically a cap bad guy.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of technicalities. Like, the best villain set that we have is Spider-Man, which we don't even have.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? Just shout out Unfiltered Chaos, friend of Astrid, Maddie Laws here, first time live listen. Thank you for joining in. You know, any friend of Astrid is a friend of ours, so thank you for joining us here today. Yeah, awesome.
You're on our potpourri show called Point of View, where we talk about pretty much anything for about an hour or so every Sunday morning.
It's a free-for-all. I mean, we usually talk about sports. We talked about some sports, but we're talking about some Captain America at the moment, and it's fun. STG's got a serious question for all three of us. I like your serious questions, STG. Favorite Marvel movie? For me,
I know Ed's. I know Ed's. It's Thor: Love and Thunder.
It's certainly not Thor.
That is nobody's favorite Marvel movie at all, Andre. Good joke, though. For me, it's a toss-up probably between maybe the first Iron Man and Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Probably more so Winter Soldier.
Oh, for me, this is simple. Black Panther.
Another great one as well, too. Yeah, 100%.
For me, I'm going with Iron Man because it's a movie I can put on anytime, have no problem just watching and then not have to watch anything else. Cap 2 is also in there with me for that. And then I think No Way Home, I think is
so good.
Very high on my list because it's just such a well done Spider-Man movie. But I've always said Iron Man is probably the best Marvel movie there is. I know some are technically better, but it just hits me in such a way.
I don't care how much people.
Jeff Bridges is in that.
Like, I liked Sam Raimi's Spider-Mans when they came out and everything, and I still like the first two quite a lot and everything. But in comparison, Tom Holland's 3 Spider-Man movies were just aces in comparison. Like, I prefer Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I like the movies better overall. All 3 of them, I thought they were fantastic films.
Yeah,
and in fact,
Rock was a fantastic director to work with Holland throughout the movie.
Yeah, and the third Spider-Man movie in that series, like, that is like the one Marvel movie that handled the multiverse correctly and didn't kind of bastardize the film at the same time. And yeah, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he was good, but again, when you look at the difference, like, Tom Holland's actually the age of a Peter Parker when he becomes Spider-Man, and so it kind of makes more sense. I think he fits the role better. I think he's got a little bit of a goofier sense to him and stuff like that. Like Peter Parker always was kind of that, like, little bit nerdy type of goofy kind of guy. So yeah. But Unfiltered Chaos saying, I am a huge nerd, NFL, NBA, pro wrestling. Y'all hitting my sweet spot of comics and comic movies. Yes. And we're all about that stuff here. Unfortunately, no NFL at the moment, so we got to wait until next season to hit that up again.
But for the foreseeable future, you'll have me and Andre here every Wednesday night talking about Marvel stuff, as we've got the final review of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming this Wednesday. And then every Wednesday after that, until it's over, we'll be talking about Daredevil.
Nice.
As it returns on May 4th.
I didn't have that on the calendar for you guys for this Wednesday. I apologize. I didn't realize
that we had to
STG, I know.
You're such a jerk.
It kind of is. Oh, my. Ouch.
I thought we had something special, STG.
You should rip the STG side.
I was thinking the same thing. Total wrestling heel
broke
style.
your heart. Like he just broke your heart. Tear his side.
He just
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, here it goes.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no. Oh, the pain, the agony. The relationship has been broken off. See, that just means next season when we do the NFL predictions, Andre and STG won't be teaming up anymore. Andre is going to be going solo. There's no tag team at that point. So STG is going to be on his own next time.
But just remember, Bobby, you're alone too.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But see, I already had to do an ice bucket challenge, so and so did Andre. So I mean, we know what it's like.
No, STG
But
just
Peggy's
turned heel
here with
on
us
me.
too.
STG turned heel on me.
Peggy, we still haven't figured out how to put the official hater stamp on our StreamYard here for us yet, but we'll figure it out sooner or later. You know how many months I had to work to earn that sign? Well, see, Peggy gets a sign. No ripping that one up.
No.
See, STG, you're gonna have to improve.
She
man.
would beat me if I ripped that sign.
I would pay for that footage. I want to see you get your butt kicked.
She'd stop you from getting to see her nerd cave.
Unfiltered Chaos. I'm so excited about the return of Daredevil. I heard good things about the new Spidey show. I also have my own show during the NFL season where me and my brother and our co-host watch Red Zone all day. Is that on your YouTube channel that you're chatting with us from as well too there? Because if so, I'm going to head over there right away and give you a sub on the channel. So just let me know. If not, feel free to post your link in the chat and we'll get you a sub as well too from all of us. Happy to support as always. But yeah, I mean, tell me about it, guys. Like, you guys are excited for the return of Daredevil? Is this going to be an improvement on what we saw? Are you happy that they're sticking with the same actor for Daredevil as well too, that they're keeping the story that was started the same and not going right back to the get-go?
Andre?
Yeah, yes and no. Like I enjoyed the Netflix Marvel Universe. I wouldn't say I was a huge fan. I really liked Charlie Cox's Daredevil. I think he was like a shining spot in all of that. I only ever watched the first 2 seasons of that show. I never actually finished it. I never watched any of the Punisher seasons. I only watched the first season of Jessica Jones, first season of Iron Fist, and first season of Luke Cage, and the season of Defenders. But again, I wasn't that I was very much in a different point of watching a lot of that stuff back then. Now I'm very much looking forward to seeing there's a story they're looking to tell, everything, and it didn't feel as tied into the Marvel Universe back then either. For me personally, versus now, it feels really a lot more ingrained. So again, I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it is. Halfway through the season, I could be like, "Well, Ed, you're on your own. Enjoy finishing the show." It's very possible, but I don't think so. Because everything that I'm looking forward to is looking to be there. So
nice.
I'm excited for this one. I as well did not finish Daredevil, but I always liked the story they were telling. I always liked it. It's just the Netflix stuff being so distant from everything else made it something that I kind of just turned off on and been like, well, when it becomes something that matters, I'll watch it. Now that we're getting Daredevil here, it's going to be important to watch. It's going to be interesting. And they're adapting things. Like, it's not a pick up directly. Everything that happened on Netflix means that it's in the MCU. It's going to be kind of like they're going to pick and choose the things they want.
it's a soft reboot.
But Daredevil being, we got a glimpse of him in She-Hulk. We're getting glimpses of this. It has the same feel, which to me is the most important part. Is we're getting a similar feeling show to the Netflix show, and the directors are all telling us that the show is a very along the same lines. It's not any less gritty. It's potentially more gritty. Like, it's not sanitized in any way, shape, or form, which to me is the greatest thing about it, is that they're not sanitizing it. They're going to go for that same similar vibe. And I'm down for it. I'm down for the ride, because I think you can take, I love the ideas of taking the street level stuff, putting it on TV, and then all of the movies being these bigger, overarching, massive superhero type things. I think that's a great idea for how to do this, because there's so many fun street level comic ideas that you can do with Luke Cage, bringing him back, as I thought I really enjoyed the Luke Cage show for what it was. I think that you can bring an element of like Heroes for Hire to the screen. I think that Spider-Man plays way better as a television show than it does as a movie. I think you can really tell a good story, because I thoroughly enjoyed Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man for a lot of reasons that I can't wait to get into on Wednesday, because it was telling so many different stories all at once. And you can do that in a show over 10 episodes way better than you can over a movie over 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's a good assessment. I like SDG's question here. So, guys, real question is, worst Marvel movie and series or slash series? Like, are we going one worst on each? Like one bad movie, one bad series here? Because that could be
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm Thor: Love and Thunder is the worst movie.
Worst series is definitely Moon Knight.
Disagree with you on that one.
Love and Thunder. I couldn't stand that show. I hate it. I hate that show.
See, I didn't love it by any means, but I'm sorry. Like,
I loved it.
I mean, please don't throw shade at me for this, because I know, internet, you like to throw shade for the wrong reasons. I'm not a She-Hulk fan, and not because it's She-Hulk. I just didn't like the attorney at law nonsensical stuff. I wanted a superhero type show, and I got an attorney show. I think that was Tatiana Maslany. I think is her name.
That's her comic, but that's what her comics are. Her comics are.
But this is why I didn't ever read those comics, because it's just not my cup of tea. The style is not my cup of tea. That's all it is. The lead actress they chose, fantastic. Like, fellow Saskatchewan person there. She's great. In fact, her show Orphan Black, I think, is a way better type of a show in that series than what She-Hulk was. So I just wasn't a She-Hulk fan. It's not my cup of tea. Mostly, I'm not no real hate otherwise on it. It just wasn't what I normally would watch, kind of thing. But see, then when you talk about the series, I personally I thought Ms. Marvel was one of my favorites. So it has nothing to do with anything other than just what I prefer. So yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder. There's such a thing. Yes, Thor: Love and Thunder was a thing, and it shouldn't have been.
Oh no! The worst one's The Incredible Hulk. That's the worst movie.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's definitely up there for sure. Yeah. I'm with you there.
All right,
but Thor: Love and
Thunder right behind it. With Thor: Love and Thunder right behind it, because
no. See, if you were to put them ranking, they're like two friends with their hands across each other's shoulders. That's how bad those two movies are. I mean, they're just like, we're hanging out way down here at the bottom level of Marvel. Oh, come on. Throwing shade at me like this.
All right, we're talking about all this. We talk about the show that Marvel basically gave up on and just literally dug it a hole before it ever started. Let's talk about Echo.
But
I didn't watch it. I can't have an opinion. I didn't see Echo.
But it turned out really good, though. Comparatively to
sort of
Moon Knight, it was way better. It was
it was not better than Moon Knight. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about Moon Knight. I enjoyed
nothing
Moon Knight was okay.
The actor was terrible. All the acting in the show was terrible. Nothing made sense. It was so jumbled and stupid. It's a fucking terrible.
It's not jumbled and stupid. It's a man who has multiple identities.
Terrible.
Oh, it's such good shit.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Terrible.
Well, you've been outclassed. 2/3 of us think that it was good. So, just saying.
Well, you guys to be 2/3 now.
I mean, we're the right 2/3. It's all good.
The better part of 2/3.
I just don't like it. I also don't like him, the actor. I also don't care for.
Oscar Isaac is what you're talking.
I don't care for him. Like, he was terrible in Star Wars. He's the worst part of that trilogy. Like, he can't. He's the exact same person in everything he is. He's got no acting ability. He's the male January Jones. He's the same thing in everything, and he's boring to me. I don't like him.
You obviously did not watch Inside Llewyn Davis then.
I did not, because again, I don't watch Oscar Isaac because he's not good.
He's drinking it for himself, but he's spitting it out the way of Moon Knight right now.
Yeah,
and Oscar Isaac.
I don't like him. I don't like him, and I don't like anything he does. So,
no, that's okay. Everyone's entitled to a wrong opinion. I mean, that's okay. Oh, no, I'm not even going to get a chuckle out of that. God damn, I tried so hard.
Nope.
How about, so speaking of movies, though, Screen Actors Guild's on tonight on Netflix for anybody interested in watching what's going to be awarded for different various movies in the award season. Do you guys get into the awards type movies at all, or that's something of interest? No?
I don't even know what's nominated.
All I know is the movie that I made a joke about during one of the streams. All of a sudden, ever since I've made that joke, everything's gone wrong for them.
Well, yeah.
What was it? The one
it's on the tip of my tongue. It's Perez.
Rosie Perez.
It's on Netflix. It's yeah. I can't think right now, but the movie itself is not.
Tyson?
No, it's definitely not that. Amelia Perez.
She was there.
Amelia Perez. That's it.
Perez.
The movie itself is quite inventive and interesting, but it's all the after stuff that, if you really go look into it, has become not so positive for the film, kind of thing. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But
I brought it up, and all of a sudden, bad things have happened.
Yep, it's like you put a curse on them, Ed. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's up for its awards here tonight as well too, along with things like Wicked and The Brutalist and some of these different movies that have been up for the other awards this season. I've probably seen the vast majority of what's been nominated. I almost guarantee it, because wife and I will actually seek out what's been up for the award season, and we will go and watch those movies just out of curiosity. Some of them, again, like some I don't get. Like they'll get good praise for them. They'll get all these awards and everything, and I watch them. I'm like, I don't get how this is that exciting or like that interesting that everybody else praised it so highly, kind of thing. You know, there was movies like, for example, there's one called September 5, which is about the terrorist hostage takeover during the 1980 or they're in there, the Summer Olympics. This is a legit story, and not that again, like everything was fine, but it just seemed like it was just one whole like hanging out in a newsroom type situation type of movie that didn't, like, it's almost like you played it out watching like inside the newsroom as they're watching everything play out on the TV. It was okay, but it wasn't like dynamite to the point where I'm like, yeah, that should have been up for award season kind of situation. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at the people who are like nominated for Outstanding Actor. I haven't seen a single movie that any of these actors have been in.
Interesting.
I haven't seen Wicked. I haven't seen any of that. So,
Andre, it's asking, was the most overrated movie that is being nominated. So I'll just take a quick look at
Wicked.
A complete unknown.
No, hell no.
I'm joking.
Not at all. I'm going to take a quick gander at who's up for. So
Here.
For best film, there's
The Apprentice. That stupid fucking Trump.
It's not up for best picture though. Oh no, this is outstanding.
It's up for best
cast.
supporting actor. It's up for best supporting actor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you haven't seen it necessarily though either.
Yeah, but it looks so dumb.
I don't like the only one I haven't seen that's up for best outstanding like cast in a motion picture is Conclave. I didn't end up getting around to seeing Conclave. I mean, awesome that Demi Moore's up for The Substance. That is fantastic. I'm just trying to look here if I think any are actually overrated, like you're saying, STG, because okay, here we go. So Kieran Culkin is up for the movie A Real Pain, which you can catch on Disney Plus. Here in Canada, it's probably Hulu in the States, maybe, or something. So that movie there, it's fine. It's decent. It's a good Sunday afternoon watch. Awards, though, I don't think it was like mind-boggling performance where you're like, wow, I've got to go see it. It's Macaulay Culkin's little brother, but he also played Fuller in Home Alone. He plays his cousin Fuller in Home Alone, the one that wets the bed. Yeah, that's who he actually plays. So the little nerdy kid with the glasses.
He's the middle.
Isn't he the youngest, or is he in the middle?
His brother in Succession. He's the youngest brother in Succession.
Oh, in Succession, yeah. I was just wondering about like in the Culkin family, because Macaulay's the oldest. I think Rory's the youngest, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying in Succession, he's the youngest brother in Succession.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
The brothers in Succession.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And again, he's fine in it, and the movie itself is fine. There's nothing bad about it. Like it's a good enough movie. It's just not like when, like, to the STG's question of what's overrated. I think in that sense, in terms of a nomination, I think that it's more than what it actually deserves, kind of thing. I think that there's probably better performances they could have pulled from. I don't know what they are. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on this. When I watched it, I think I was expecting something more and I didn't quite get that. So yeah, that's about it for me. Other than that,
I can really tell I'm not a drama person, because like I look at all the movies and TV shows, the dramas, and I've seen none of them. Then I look at the like the comedy side of it all, and I'm like, oh, I've seen Abbott Elementary, I've seen Man of the Inside, I've seen The Bear, I've seen Only Murders in the Building. I've seen so many of those, but I haven't seen any of the drama side of TV.
Yeah. See, and one of the movies that's up for stuff that isn't going to get the awards, unfortunately, that people should check out, and it deserves the nominations it's getting, is the movie Anora. It is not anything like I expected going into it. I kind of like from the trailers, I was like, okay, they're giving me what I think I'm going to get. And at the beginning of the movie, it's what you get. And then it just pulls some sort of badass 360 right in the middle of it, changes the whole script up, and goes a different direction. And I was mind blown by it. The performances were so good. The ending was kind of heartbreaking and sad in a way, in a totally different type of way. Like, it's not I need to watch this movie again, because once you get to the end, you're kind of like, I feel bad for this girl and all this kind of stuff that happened. But it's one of those movies that should be appreciated, not only for the great writing and directing, but the performances were just absolutely outstanding in that film.
I have no thoughts.
and to think, 2 people up for awards at the Screen Actors Guilds tonight are former Ghostface killers from the Scream franchise. Oh no, wait, never mind. Just one. I forgot. No, it was Rory that was in Scream, not Kieran. Rory was a killer in Scream, not Kieran. So never mind. I got it wrong. Just one, just for Anora. So, Ed hasn't seen a movie since how is he reviewing all this Marvel stuff then, STG?
I just make it up as I go along. Wikipedia is a wonderful thing.
He lets Andre lead and just bounces. Oh yeah, I liked that. No, I didn't like that. Just, it's almost like having one of those flowers. It's like, he loves me not. He loves me not.
I just take wild guess based on what the internet is saying and go with it.
Yeah, there's multiple screens. It's like, okay, these guys.
I like this last one, making it up using AI. But no. You don't know Ed is actually, he's not real. Ed is just AI.
I'm AI as well too. I'm anti-intelligence. I'm probably the only one who actually does use the AI. I just use it to make the clips on the shows and stuff like that. Click one button. Yeah, StreamYard tells me what I want.
I found out this week because I messaged both Astrid and Bobby being like, excuse me, why is this a clip? And they were like, AI, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Hail to the AI overlords. No, again, you guys don't give me a certain time and a show to clip for you. All I'm going to do is hit the auto generate button on StreamYard and allow StreamYard to tell me what we should use as a clip.
It was my understanding that Astrid does that for our show.
No, for her channel she does, but not for OLE. So, I mean, if Astrid wants me to use the same one, she could tell me, but
no.
Then we're just using two.
This is just a me understanding, because, like, I don't know.
But, you know, feel free if you want me to clip something specific from taking over. If you have one of those magical Ed moments, just let me know the timeline, and I'll make you look good.
Trust me, if I have one of those magical Ed moments, you'll know, because everybody will tell you. No, I'm not throwing Astrid under the bus. The way it used to be is Astrid marked down times and send them to Bobby. So I just assumed
that's the greatest clip you've ever done with someone. The greatest short video you've ever done.
It was so funny when you guys when Andre misunderstood him saying zebra or what zebra technically, but when he said that like salt and pepper, he just had to go at you. I was dying in that part because I caught what he had said, and when you said what you said, I'm just like, oh my, this is gonna get too good, because he was already on edge at that point. So. Peggy says, guess I got to fight Ed now, too.
No fighting.
A whole lot of fighting going on.
Ed will not fight back. It's fine.
Just going to take the punches.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, gentlemen. Well, it is kind of getting close to the top of the hour here. I think that we have allowed this show to run just the perfect amount of time. So I think it's time to say our goodbyes. And as we do that, we will head on over to the tickers. We're going to start there with Ed. Let them know what you got coming up and where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Blue Skies at EdFries12584. You can find me on the Twitch at twitch.tv/EdFries2002. Make sure that you're following that, as we're going to have a few new shows coming to my Twitch thing that I'm going to be doing specifically there. They may or may not air on our local establishment. I will be reviewing at least the first episode of Evolve over there. So I'll be doing a nice review of that once it airs on Tubi. I'll be going ahead and hopefully doing weekly episodes of that. I am also planning to do some WWE 2K25 content when it comes out in the next couple weeks, as we get ready for all of the fun that 2K25 is going to be. My Bloodline edition will be here 7 days before the normal edition, so it'll be fun to get a chance to get in there. What's new with GM mode? What's new with all the other fun stuff that's in the game? And more importantly, we very well might have noob understanding how to do universe mode. Whereas Mark knows how to do universe mode and does it very well. My ass has never played universe mode before. So I may do streams where I go ahead and try to understand how to do a WWE universe.
Perfect.
And of course, you've got over every Tuesday, and I'll be here for the next 10 weeks, I think it is, with Andre every Wednesday night until Andre quits Daredevil.
Yeah, he said.
And, well, you've got STG on board. He's going to watch your 2K25 content. Andre, what do you got coming up? Where can the people find you?
I got to go and finish uploading a show that me and Mel did yesterday for our channel on German Wrestling Talk. Did you know coming out today? We'll have Chop Talks coming out this week. If we get a chance, we'll have an NJPW Pro Wrestling review to come out this week. If we get a chance to record, I'll be back Wednesday with Ed for Marvel Talk, talking Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Japanese Wrestling Update on Friday, and other stuff.
Other stuff. Always a busy man, just like a lot of us around here. I will kind of fill in where Mark would normally say this part, but starting with my content, you can find me over at Mark Talks Wrestling for our WWE Universe mode that we've been doing. We are coming to the end of this series. This week, it's WrestleMania time, baby. So you can check out our WrestleMania card over at Mark Talks Wrestling. Where else can you find me? Well, myself and Astrid just did another podcast over at Horror Facts, the Knife in the Dark podcast. So tomorrow afternoon, our review with Joey and Justin of Horror Facts comes out over at the Knife in the Dark podcast. Get that where all podcasts are available. This Thursday night, it's WTF Do We Know About Wrestling Trivia Night, baby. It's going to be trivia night on Ring Respect Radio. Myself, Papa Smokes, Andre's going to be there. Lauren Goodnight's going to be there. Ed, were you possibly, maybe? Okay, so Ed might be there as well, too. We're going to have a lot of fun doing trivia once again this Thursday night. Again, you can catch me this next Sunday with these two gentlemen, and hopefully the return of Mark there as well, too, for another episode of Point of View. And you can also find me every Saturday afternoon with my good man, Pop Smoke, calling all the action from Prairie Pro Wrestling. But yes, more trivia, buddy, more trivia. And yes, thank you, Maddie, new friend. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say thank you to our new friend, Maddie Laws, who joined us on Filtered Chaos of the Raw Bulk podcast. Hopefully you tune in more often to a lot of the shows here, and more trivia. Yes, and sorry, Ed, I had interrupted you there.
Yeah. Make sure you write down the questions and the little things so we don't have an issue like you had to start doing last week.
I've got you. I'll make sure I'm prepared this time more than I've ever been prepared before in my entire life. But where can you find that content along with some of the greatest content on this planet? You can find it all right here at our local establishment, OLE Podcast. We are across all social media as well as over on YouTube and the Twitch. If you want to give us a follow or a subscribe on Twitch, thank you. We appreciate it. And over on the YouTube side, I know at least 94% of you right now are watching and not subscribing yet. So what do we got to do? Hopefully you two go ahead and click the bell down below, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave us a comment if you're watching after the live broadcast, and join us for all the live broadcasts across the board here on OLE. Short form content, long form content. We got stuff coming at you guys every day. That's going to be it for us this week. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Point of View, and we will see you in 1 week's time. Take care, everybody.